macho-rated Cate Blanchett.
Australian. All I had to do was show up.
She holds honorary Doctor of Letters degrees from the Universities of New South Wales and Sydney, and in 2007 was named one of the 100 most influential people by Time magazine.
Wow! Oh, wow! I'm so happy. It's indecent how happy I am.
Really sad today, happy and sad, but that my father couldn't be here to see this, because I think this is a massive moment. I think it's incredible, and I hope that he would be very proud.
Thank you to the audiences and thank you to the critics. Thank you.
Are you actually one of these people who's found that rare thing, your soulmate?
Yeah, I have.
How did you meet? How did the sparks start?
The sparks started slowly, I think.
We didn't like each other.
We didn't get on at all. I think it was about 21 days.
And you said yes right away, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
But you leap off at the same moment. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's all about timing.
Hi, Bubby.
Mum, where's the scary man?
The scary man's on set, monkey.
But I want to see him last.
I don't know that you want to see him down.
Yes, I do, Mum.
He's been eating small creatures and his beard's covered in blood.
I do want to see him.
How exactly you say your name.
Swakli Snofnith.
And
It's my Swedish heritage. I don't know, I say Blanchett
you do say Blanchett because your mother says that too, doesn't she?
on my wiki page.
I was sure when I saw your name in the cast that you will be Cinderella.
Save that for the Sydney drag shows. But thank you.
Australians, rough-hewn stock, penal people, and
Like myself.
yeah.
I read that you enjoy making lists, and
I don't enjoy making lists. I have to make lists because I have early onset dementia. I literally don't forget to call such and such. You need washing powder.
When you played Elizabeth, you walked very slowly, and when you just came into the room, you walked so quickly. Did you find it hard to slow down?
and I learned very early to sort of be very gracious when asked very strange questions.
Don't tweet. I mean, I've got sort of peasant fingers. I couldn't even do it if I tried. Hashtag would be mine.
I love Christmas. I love sitting around the piano with everyone singing out of tune and drinking eggnog.
Every year, my grandmother would give me $20 and a packet of chocolate biscuits. And that was the present I looked forward to every year, because it was always the same. But I've got the perfect gift this year from my husband, Perspex canoe. So it's this, you can sail along in the water and just see absolutely everything. All those sharks that you try to pretend aren't there.
You really want to be a princess?
I am a princess, sweetheart. Don't you forget it.
Me too.
Yeah, you're a real princess. Your daddy's princess.
And our son asked, why, Mummy, is he sitting on his coins? And I floundered and he noticed this. And he added, by way of helping me, I think, maybe his fire breath will heat his coins and burn his butt.
This is extraordinary. And where do you want to put your golden outside?
Well, I want to show it to my children who are here with me in Los Angeles, so I think that's the first port of call. I better get my name on it, though, because they all look the same and someone might come and steal it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Every time I've gone back into the rehearsal room for a play, my husband and my sons get a dog. I picked up a bag of poop that was this big. And I took a photo of me with it, and my husband was in the middle of rehearsals, and I went, come home.
He said as long as they can chop wood and light a fire, ride a horse and help an old lady across the street, that you'd be happy.
I think it's good and important to be practical in life.
We need more practical men out there.
They're at the old lady across the street, they're getting there with the horse riding, but they're not quite there with the chopping of the wood. But then Iggy's only 5, so we've got...
You got some time.
It's probably not time to give him an
got
axe.
some time.
Learning piano, I had this Disney book of, Peter Pan and the songs from Cinderella. And so my favourite song to play for the whole thing was the I Know You, I Danced With You Once Upon a Dream. So I know that song inside out. And I used to play that pretty much every weekend growing up. I was preparing for that in my lunch hour because I knew I couldn't prepare it when I went home at night because the children don't really care that I'm about to play Bob Dylan and I'm absolutely terrified. They just want me to read, Slinky Malinky. Every mother can sew except me. And so I got the pillowcase and I dressed him I told him as a ghost, but he actually looked like he was from the Ku Klux Klan. It's because I couldn't sew, and so I said, no, it's not that. Can I just ask a question? Cate Blanchett from Australia.
Yes. Yes. Would I have seen you in anything?
No.
Okay.
I love your work, though.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
This is a question for Mr. Branner.
So speak up, I can't hear you, please.
Whose idea was it?
Anyway. Enough of the business over here. Hey, want to sing a song?
Sing the Eagles song?
Oh, that's deeply embarrassing.
No, it's not. You did it so well.
And way up there, those fluffy little white things, those are clouds that make the wind blow. And way down there, those tiny little black things, those are bugs. They make the grass grow.
Not only are you holding an Oscar, you're holding something she slept with last night, apparently. Did you sleep with that last night?
It's the closest my husband and I have ever come to a threesome. Cocky. Do I allow myself cocky?
Do you ever allow yourself to be cocky?
I think that's the moment where you're just about to fall off the cliff. Isn't that the moment where the idiot goes, hey, and falls out? I try to avoid those moments.
Oh, no, so this is a language issue. When you say fairy, I think you mean the thing with... we say fairy and fairy. See, there's a slight difference. Whereas in America, everything sounds the same.
Fairy. See?
How do you people communicate with each other?
I am utterly, deeply humbled and chuffed by that. I'm going to be licked by millions of Australians and I can't wait. I'm so excited by that.
I did a little research and I think there are only 19 women with more than one Oscar.
Is that right? And I guess I'm one of them now. Yeah, we have meetings. We get together and we bring out 2 or 3 and
lunches with the Oscars.
Dress them up. My husband has this terrible habit of, when we first got married, he sort of stopped it, but he used to grab me by the ears and drive me around the house. It's just a thing he did.
I think I've done that, Kev. Have you?
Sounds like a good idea.
It was part of a mating dance.
Really?
That's how our 2 children were born.
The Gwyneth Paltrow incident, and this is...
What's the Gwyneth Paltrow?
You know the Gwyneth Paltrow incident, when she got the Oscar for Shakespeare in Love after you'd acted her off the screen in Elizabeth, so you can register your feelings without actually having to say anything. Mildly upset, to shock, to death to Gwyneth. Now, all you do is hit this as soft or as hard as you want to register how you felt at that moment. Yeah. Okay.
I remember sitting in a cafe in Bondi, talking to a friend, and this guy was talking this really big thing, and I said, what's he doing? He said, oh, that's a mobile phone. I went, oh, that'll never take on.
Oscar buzz already.
Oscar buzz?
Oscar buzz.
What are people talking about? It's awful. But which people may well do.
Oscar nominations Thursday.
Okay, that's my cue. That's my excuse. I'm here, and I'm so happy.
Oh, what about your children and the Oscar? Do they get to play with the Oscar?
Every day, Mummy sits them down, and I get my 2 Oscars out, and I let them stroke them for 15 minutes before they go to school.
Now we know
if they're good. There's a flight between Melbourne and Sydney. I realised I was falling asleep on his shoulder, and I thought, I'm so sorry. And then I looked out of the corner of my eye, and there was a string of spittle. And I just sort of casually went,
Should I open them now?
Absolutely. That's been fantastic, Kate.
Oh, look. That's beautiful.
Ah.
Thank you.
That's right.
That's absolutely beautiful.
And there's your bloody chair.
Just to prove I was
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stay in the role. She comes home and she's still Blanche Dubois that night.
Don't answer that.
She comes home and she's Kate. After these emotional, powerful.
Quite calm and chirpy.
Andrew, my husband, said, say hi to Mummy. And there's this, you know how kids breathe on the phone? You can hear them thinking.
Mm-hmm.
There's this sort of really sleazy breaths. And he went... and then he went, ciao, Bella.
I'm working at the school canteen, so I'm putting sausage rolls and pies and making cheese sandwiches.
I read recently that you said your kids were embarrassed of you at that age at the moment, being a bit embarrassed.
They've been embarrassed of me for years.
Are you going to take them to see the movie?
They're all here.
Where are they?
I'm a bit of a Pied Piper. They've all come, my boys are all here with their buddies from school. So it's not just a chick flick.
They're full, they've got sparkly little eyes. And I mean, I can absolutely see Andrew in them. I'd like 4, but we're still discussing it.
It was a lot.
I suppose so.
John Howard will be so proud of you. Doing your bit for your country.
Yes.
I had this thought the other day that I'd like to start throwing pots. You know, not at my husband. I mean, you know, like learning to make stuff. I'd love, you know, my mum has such a, my mother has such a green thumb. My thumb is absolutely and resolutely brown. So I'd love to change the colour of my thumb. You know, there's lots of those kind of things that are practical things. I'd like to be able to build things, make things.
You auditioned to play Cinderella, of course.
Of course, and I'm a little bit cross. You know, they were doing CGI, they could, you know, do a little bit.
What is it like living and working in Rome and being pregnant?
It's great. I mean, I do like pasta, but well,
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
I don't know what the...
Dogs are in this household too, but they got really big bumps. Really big bumps. And I have to pick them up.
There's a certain part of Tasmania, which is that Australian?
That is really, Wikipedia is quite useful. I mean, it's a beautiful country. It's God's country.
Right, but
if you believe in God.
But I hear that the Tasmanian devil is badly diseased on part of that island.
They've got facial tumours.
That's
and
right.
they're ugly enough to start with, but I mean, with the poor little thing. Now we've got one of those little shower timers, and so it's actually quite a fun thing. They get to flip it on, you know.
How long are their showers?
Well, actually, sometimes we shower together. Yeah. Get out, get out, get out. Yeah, they're actually shorter than me. You know, they're often...
My eldest son is here tonight. There he is. Hi, doll. He's hiding. I don't sit him down and force him to watch my film.
You have a daughter.
I know.
I mean, it's so nice.
It's wonderful, and the boys have been incredible with her.
Good.
I mean, there's a bit of an age gap. Our eldest is 13. He's great. He puts on his school uniform in the morning and goes in and changes her diaper.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's
I know.
great.
I trained him well.
Great. Yeah, you did. You did a great job.
But then, you know, if it's not the kind of diaper that you want to change, I get her back straight away.
Of course.
But he's getting there.
Nervously laughed, and he said, if you did that in a performance, I would sack you. And of course I went, whoa! It was my first job out of drama school. Yeah. And Jeffrey said he didn't realise that anyone could be filled with that much mucus. Because I was just like, from all pores. I mean, I was just devastated. And then I thought, I'm going to go home and weep into my pillow. And he said, no. And he picked me up, took me into another room, made me go over the lines again, and said, you're going to do the play now. And we just ran through the whole thing, and it was a huge turning point for me.
Cate Blanchett.
Oscar goes to Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett. Good job.
Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett.
The great actress Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett.
I wouldn't be standing here without... First one is my mother, my incredible mother, June Blanchett.
my once-in-a-lifetime love of my life, Andrew Upton, who taught me the meaning of true love, and I'm so pleased I met you.
I know you think it's cheesy, sweetheart, but I have to thank you, my husband. Sitting in row G, so I thought that was a sign that I wouldn't be getting up here tonight.
Those who voted for me, I thank you, and for those who didn't, better luck next year. I have been married for 17 years. I have been with my agent for 17 years, and I have been with my publicist for 17 years. And perhaps Hilda, Andrew, my darling, I couldn't be up here without you, and to Lisa Costello, perhaps in a way those relationships are my biggest achievement. Thank you so very much. To my darling husband who's here and everyone who made this possible, thank you so much. Thank you. I want to thank my husband, who's my partner in absolutely everything, for his incredible support, and my 3 sons, Roman, who's here tonight doing magic tricks for everyone. Thank you. For the boys, for being there, for keeping everything normal in the best possible way.
Thank you, that's incredibly special. It's a cross between an obituary and a tribute. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven.
As random and as subjective as this award is, it means a great deal. Thank you to my mum, to my sister, to my brother, to my 3 glorious sons. I would not be standing here without you. To my husband, Andrew, you are a legend. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What did your mum say when you won the Oscar?
Oh, darling, I know. I saw it on the internet. Oh, yeah.
Are we going to be celebrating?
I haven't quite worked that out yet. I guess I better put my name on this before they take it away from me. I don't know, probably call my husband first and my children.
Try and get everything into one trip so I don't have to fly as much as I'm asked to fly, as it makes me miserable. In a way they probably don't even notice. As long as I bring them back something from the airport, but it's not how I want to, we like being together.
Well, we are co-artistic directors as well as co-CEOs, as well as being married. So I suppose we're co-everything, really.
I forgot to mention that. Small
we don't
detail.
forget.
My mother, who I respect enormously, I always had her voice in my head, so I wouldn't tip over the edge. So I'd be in an environment where I was observing people tipping over the edge, and my poor mother, knowing, that I was at school photocopying fake IDs and, staying out till all hours, but I think I got it out of my system really early.
What was the voice that you could hear?
It's about self-respect, really. I think we all grew up with a really healthy sense of self-respect and of just knowing what your base notes are and not sort of transgressing that and respecting others. A bit Christian, really.
Instilling a sense of respect of yourself and other people and having a sense of privacy. Privacy is a very difficult concept, I think, for younger generations to understand, given how available we all seem to make ourselves without any consequence on the internet.
Not really hung up about looks at all, are you? You are beautiful, but you don't really give a damn about it.
No, well, thank you, I think.
Preventative injecting. I don't know why, as an actor, you would want to tamper with your instrument. I see someone's face, someone's body who's had children, and I think that's the song lines of your experience, and why would you want to eradicate that? I find it absolutely bizarre.
The most important thing to me was to work with people that I respected and to have the respect of my peers. That was what I said to myself when I was 17. But what I actually did was secondary, and hopefully I'm achieving or coming somewhere close to achieving those goals.
Creativity is the process of having original ideas that have value. It is a process. It is not random. You can be creative in anything: maths, science, engineering, philosophy, as much as you can in music, painting, or dance. Creativity is putting your imagination to work, and it has produced the most extraordinary results in human culture. Thank you very much to Macquarie University. I'm deeply honoured. Have as their goal the creation of a society in which the arts and the appreciation of spiritual and intellectual values can flourish. Our other objectives are all means to an end. The enjoyment of the arts is an end in itself. My identity is not based on either my work or on any of this. So it's a wonderful mirage to be here tonight, and I'm very happy to receive this, but it's not entirely who I am.
I want to be surprised by where I am when I'm 60. I hope it's not like this.